What's up, guys? We're getting the week started, getting out of Miami. I am in West Palm Beach right now, picking up this little thing right here, 1,500 pounds, going to North Carolina. I was actually I was heading empty towards the upper part of Florida, like towards Jacksonville, because there was absolutely nothing out of Miami area. And then luckily my dispatcher caught me. I passed West Palm Beach by about 40 minutes, so she got this load. I had to turn around and came to pick it up. Otherwise I would have been driving empty towards Jacksonville. So let's get loaded and get on our way. All right, guys, here we have it on the trailer. 2 chains, 2 binders, and we'll be good to go. Alright, got everything secured. 1 chain on the front with 1 binder, 1 chain on the back with 1 binder, and I put a strap over the end of it. I don't know why, when I was tightening this chain, that end was coming up. I'm not sure why this was coming up, but that's why I put a strap on it, just for extra peace of mind. But here's what we have: 2 chains and 1 strap, 1,500 pounds. Alright, guys, this is from West Palm Beach, Florida, going to, can't remember the city, in North Carolina. About 730-mile drive, I believe, but I'll check on that in just a little bit. But let's hit the road, guys.
Industrial Drive. Turn right onto Airport Industrial Drive. In 800 feet, turn left. Turn left. Turn left, then turn right. Turn left, then turn right.
Alright guys, I'm at the receiver, got everything unchained, getting this thing off of the trailer. Good morning guys. Wish I could say it's a good morning, but it's a shitty morning. Got stuck here yesterday in North Carolina and I am still here. Things are not looking good. They are pretty damn bad. Absolutely no loads. No loads on a load board. Here's what I'm looking at. Look at all these loads. $1.23, $1.34, $1.32. I mean, there's nothing. 84 cents. There's nothing that's even at least $1.50. We got this one for 1,000, which is $6.35 a mile, but that's over 300 miles away from where I am. 58 cents per mile. It's just, I don't know what's happening. North Carolina, no loads. Usually North Carolina's good. Georgia was bad last time I was there. I mean, things are just horrible everywhere, seems like. I don't know. If things don't pick up, I don't know. We're gonna have to look for another job, because this is just god awful. So the load I dropped off yesterday, the one I picked up in West Palm Beach, Florida to Clayton, North Carolina, that was a 730 mile drive, I believe, and that load paid $1,400 bucks. $1,400. I think that's a decent load to get out of Florida. I think that was $1.90 per mile, something like that, between $1.90 or $2 per mile. Not too bad to get out of Florida. And now I am stuck here in North Carolina, and it's 10 a.m. right now. Hopefully something comes up, because I am stressing. I hate sitting at truck stops with nothing. So let's give it some time and see if we can get a load. Hey guys, just got to a shipper. Supposed to be picking up, I think, an automotive lift. It's like a little bit over 8,000 pounds from South Carolina going to Sarasota, Florida. I think that's it right there. Alright guys, just pulled outside. Here's what we have. It's an automotive lift. It's probably about 30 feet long, maybe a little bit less than 30 feet long, and a little bit over 8,000 pounds. Good thing it's not very tall. So let's throw some straps on it and get on our way, because it is getting late. right, here's what we have. Put a strap over the top. That's the, he said that's the power unit. He said I can strap over it, but as soon as I started tightening the strap, that box started leaning to the side, so I didn't over strap it. I didn't over tighten it, so it's on there good enough. And then I've got 3 more straps holding the rest of it. It's a little bit over 8,000 pounds, so we've got more than enough securement. All right guys, so this is Manning, South Carolina, going to Sarasota, Florida. Let's hit the road because it is getting late. It's about, oh, that's already 5:16. This is a late pickup, so hopefully it's not gonna ruin my tomorrow. Hopefully I can get a load out of Florida. As tough as it is getting out of Florida, it was bad getting out of North Carolina. So I'm thankful for at least having this load. So let's get going, guys. Hey guys, dropped this load off in Sarasota, Florida. So that load paid $1,050, and that was like a 7.5 hour drive. I can't remember the exact mileage. It was right at $2 per mile. And now the struggle of getting out of Florida begins. Nothing on the load board. So going to a truck stop for now and keeping my fingers crossed that I can get out of here at least before the weekend. Good morning guys. So this week has been just pure crap for me. I did 2 loads. I got stuck in Florida with no load over the weekend, so unfortunately I'm still here, guys. I made less than $2,500 this week. That is rock bottom for me. I don't know if it's ever been this bad. I don't remember any weeks that I've made such low gross. It's just awful. I don't know if this was just an unlucky week. I don't know if it's horrible for everybody everywhere, but I think this is just rock bottom. So I'm in Jacksonville. I moved from where I was. I drove an hour up to Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm doing my reset here, and I've got to do an oil change on the truck, and I've got to do a rear differential fluid change. So let's get to doing the oil change, and then we'll do the rear diff. All right guys, so for those that don't know how I do an oil change, I've got this pan that I bought at Walmart. This is a 16 quart, and I've got this hose because I've got I'll show you guys the drain valve that I've got on my oil pan. Alright, I've got this Fumoto drain valve. This thing is awesome. I take this safety clip off, and then let me see if I can position the camera differently. Alright guys, then all I do is I just attach this hose to the drain neck of the valve. And you just release this little lever, and voila, the oil's draining. It's a no mess type of thing. Very convenient on the road. Alright guys, so I'm gonna let that drain for about at least an hour, because on these trucks you've got to let it drain for a super long time so everything gets out of there. So I think I'm in no rush to go anywhere, so an hour to an hour and a half, because I just drove the truck to warm all the fluids up, the differential and the oil. So I just got back, and normally you're supposed to let it sit for at least 30 minutes for the fluids to drain down, but I started draining right away. So I'm gonna give it an hour to an hour and a half to drain, and while that's draining, I'm gonna move on to the rear diff. All right guys, we are moving on to the rear diff. So always got to make sure you loosen the drain plug, because if you take this off and you can't pull that drain plug off, you're pretty much screwed. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so far that fluid looks fairly clean coming out. These two bolts on the sides, on this side and the opposite side, you don't want to completely take out, because you're just that's gonna hold the pan into place while everything drains out. And that fluid is coming out really clean. I'm happy about that. Alright guys, we'll let that drain. And you always want to inspect all your gears, the teeth on them, to make sure that nothing's chipping off, and these are looking really good in my opinion. Everything looks good in there. And the gasket is reusable. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of metal shavings, or I don't even see any in there. So that's good. Alright guys, I'm gonna clean this up and get this all ready to put back together. Alright guys, so I'm using these Valvoline squeezable pouches. We've got 7590 synthetic, and it's got the limited slip additive in it. These are really convenient because you can squeeze everything out of them. And this differential takes 8.8 pints, so that's roughly a little bit over 4.5 quarts. Pretty much you have to fill it up and then you don't let it drain out of this hole. It just has to be a little bit below it. Alright guys, got everything filled, tightened, put the plug back in, got it all cleaned up. Moving on to the oil for the engine. Alright guys, I always pre-fill my oil filters. Gotta wait till it all soaks in there and keep on filling it. They always put a little bit on the gasket too. I've got this little handy dandy thing that I just plug the filter up with. That way I can push it through the wheel well without spilling any oil. Push it through, take it off, and it's ready to be mounted. This is the tricky part though. Unfortunately, I cannot hold the camera while doing this. Alright guys, and we are ready to fill it with oil now. I used my 540 Rotella T6. And I will not fill all 3 gallons. I'll probably leave like 1 quart less than it's supposed to take, just so later I can check it and make sure it's not overfilled, because it's definitely not good for these engines to overfill them. Alright guys, that's about 1 quart shy, so I'm gonna start it up, let it warm up, and then turn it off and wait 30 minutes and check it, and then top it off if it needs to be, and clean my mess up. Guys, thank you for watching the video. I'll see you on the next one.